Case management is the process that coordinates the procedures performed by the team members and the client that requested the service. The aim of service management is to coordinate the service delivery where multiple teams are involved. Case management eliminates the inefficiencies of fragmented service requests and fulfillment processes. Clients, or their representatives, can find and request the services they need from a single, centralized online catalog, regardless of the type of service or the team that provides it. The solution triggers all the necessary procedures, most of which may be performed by people, to fulfill the request. The client can track the status at any time through the portal. The business benefits are significant and include higher productivity, higher satisfaction, and better cost management. Once the case is registered by the requester, the case is in the initial stage. It will remain in this stage until the case is sent to be reviewed by the primary resource assigned to the case. The primary resource receives a task to review the case. The objective of this task is to review the options that the requester has selected and to determine if it is acceptable and correct. Once the account manager accepts the case, the stage will be changed to reviewed. In the instance where a case requires the work to be assessed, the primary resource will prepare a quotation that describes the effort and cost involved to perform the required services. Once the quotation is prepared, the stage will change to assessed. Once a quotation has been prepared by the primary resource, the quotation is presented to the authorizer for approval. Once the authorizer has accepted or rejected the quotation associated with the case, the stage is changed to adjudicated. When a case has been accepted by the applicable authorizer, the case and the associated case tasks must be scheduled. Depending on the service level, the target date for the case is automatically determined. Once the scheduled task is marked as complete by the primary resource, the stage is changed to scheduled. As soon as all the case steps have been assigned to the applicable resources, the stage of the case will change to fulfill. This stage will automatically issue work to the various resources assigned to the case. Once the business service catalog for a client has been defined, the business model has a link between the service offered to the client and the defined operating procedures. Once a case has been created for the selected business service, the system can identify the operating procedures applicable to deliver the service to the client. For each operating procedure identified, the system will create a case task. The case steps represent the activities for that operating procedure. Case steps are the work assigned to the applicable resources that participate in the case. A record is any document that serves as evidence that an activity has been performed. In the setup of the solution, the record types that can be applicable as defined as an integral part of the operating procedures. The record types that must be present at each activity is defined. During the execution of the case step, the system will request the document from the user. Case records is either documents received or created. Once a case is completed, all documents applicable to that case will be stored against the case. The system can be set to hide certain documents from the consumer. For example, working papers or audit notes are records that is for internal use only. An event is similar to a case step in the sense that the caseworker plans to do something on a planned date and time. On the specific date scheduled, the system will place a task in the caseworker's inbox. The caseworker will click on the task in his or her inbox and provide feedback on the event. An event can be completed or rescheduled. Case notes are working papers that are created by the caseworker. There are no rules for when a note is made against the case. The caseworker can add a note at any time during the execution of the case. A case note can be as simple as a note typed into a text area or be documents attached to the case.
General emails are those where the organization uses a central email address to send and receive emails. Incoming emails will be pulled into the system, and a predefined workflow will be triggered. Outgoing emails are placed into the email store.
A reminder is nothing other than a task that is triggered by the system for a follow-up on outstanding case step. During the definition of the operating procedures, a reminder can be set against a case step. For example, if a case step requests a document from an external stakeholder, the system will send a reminder to the caseworker that the external stakeholder did not send the document within the expected time frame. The alert can be closed by the caseworker, but another alert will go off if the case step is not closed. An alert can be set for different type of escalations. For example, an alert can be set for the caseworker, and an alert can be set to the management. The way reminders are implemented is the decision of the organization.
Emails archived are those received and sent from Microsoft Outlook. These emails must also be stored against the relevant case. The email can be classified as a case record directly in Outlook. This email will then be exported from Outlook and imported into the system. The email will be automatically filed if the case number appears on the email. In conclusion, case management is the component that delivers the service to the customer. The case management system takes all the other components into account when managing the case.